My family and I are first-generation immigrants from India. And unfortunately, the women in my family know the patriarchy a little too well. That being said, my mother is a force to be reckoned with. I recall growing up and listening to her on customer support calls, and I would just be standing there praying that the customer representative, I would be standing there praying that the customer service representative would just give her that refund, because we all knew that's how the story was going to end. However, when my mom would be on calls with the bank, I could not recognize this woman. She was quiet, tentative, and the call would end with her passing the phone to my dad. And so my dad would make important financial decisions for my mom. And in the eyes of the US financial system, my mom was completely invisible. So when I first got a job offer at Visa, it was more than just a job. It was a way to heal my family's relationship with money and finances as it related to women. I rose up the ranks, and I designed and launched a now very popular credit card called the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And on launch day, I was so excited to apply for the card I'd spent years building. But also, this was especially meaningful to me because it would be my first credit card in my own name. And I would be the first woman in my family to be visible in the eyes of the US financial system. So I'm waiting for the application to process, and it's taking a bit longer. And I realize that I have been rejected.
Oh.
And I was as invisible as my mother was. And to say that I became obsessed with understanding why I was rejected would be a complete understatement. And what I learned was that 50 years ago, women could be rejected from credit cards, bank accounts, and business loans on account of our sex. And all of a sudden, the confusion that I felt and the fear that my mother felt didn't feel like our fault anymore. And I came to realize that the US financial system was designed to leave women out of the narrative. I also learned through Visa data that 70% of women, regardless of socioeconomic status, are making avoidable financial mistakes that are costing us hundreds of thousands of dollars over our lifetime. I also learned that I was part of the problem. The credit cards that I was building at Visa had rewards that were rewarding where men were spending versus where women were spending. However, women control 85% of GDP in the US today. And I saw a huge opportunity. And I said, I want to redesign a financial system to truly center women for the first time in history. I knew being a founder was going to be hard. I'm a woman. I'm a first-generation immigrant. I'm a woman of color, and I'm a woman in fintech. However, I felt very excited to be able to start a company that really infused the values of what I was trying to do to empower women every step of the way. So when it came to getting funding for the company, I did not want an all-male cap table. And over 90% of our initial investors identified as women. I fought the Silicon Valley bros in making my founding team. And I stacked it with amazing women and allies, some of which are here today. So with funding and with a team, I decided to launch my company, Sequin, into the world. And I did so by writing a Medium article titled, "Why I'm Building Sequin, the Debit Card That Pays Back the Pink Tax." And overnight, tens of thousands of women signed up for our wait list, and I was on cloud 9. However, a few days later, I saw that some high-profile national publications had picked up my Medium article and were writing hit pieces about Sequin and our mission. And what they said was that women in financial services is not a problem, and this is not important. And as I took a closer look at those articles, I realized that they were written by women. And I questioned at that moment whether we as a society are ready to center women in the most important system in our lives today. And those voices felt so loud, and they were screaming no. And so, at that moment, I called the loudest voice I know, my Indian immigrant mother. And she said to me that because of the work we're doing at Sequin, she is for the first time financially visible. She has products in her own name. She knows how to make financial decisions in an educated way. And we talked about the fact that I have had the privilege of having this awakening that the US financial system was designed to leave women out of the narrative. But not all of us know that. And so with that understanding, I haven't looked back. And we're building Sequin on 3 key principles. The first one is education. Along with the Sequin card comes Sequin University that has courses, quizzes, tools to help women set our financial goals and actually understand the steps to get there with credible financial experts by their side. The second is community. Women need a safe space to be able to talk about finances and support one another in the highs and the inevitable lows. And third, we support other women. Our Sequin Rewards partners are women-focused and women-founded and are dedicated to paying back the pink tax and hidden cost to being a woman. And today, I learned from our banking partner that our Sequin cards are a go, and our pre-orders are officially opened. And so, through this journey so far, I want to share 3 things. The first is that as women, we need to support other women. And that can be with a vote, that can be with our dollars. If you have clout, it is your responsibility to share that clout with other women. And if you see another woman sharing her experience and you've had that experience too, it is your responsibility to speak up. The second piece is that money can no longer be a taboo. Women are not having conversations about finances and money. And because knowledge is power, a lack of those conversations is holding us back. And the third thing is that your identity and your story is your superpower. And solving problems for yourselves and the ones you love is the way that we are all going to build a more equitable and inclusive world.